Anthony on Air Podcast back for another episode. We have got a whole slew of topics to get to. The halftime show, Super Bowl, is this Sunday. Lou Dobbs out at Fox Business. That just broke before we started. Britney Spears is making some big news. She's blowing up. We've got a Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein update coming up for you a little bit later on the podcast tonight. Amazon making some news for what they're making their workers do at a warehouse. Eddie Murphy drops the trailer for Coming to America, Part 2. And we have a Christmas light problem here on Long Island. Episode brought to you by our good pals over at Hero Soap Company. Jay Sabs is here with us. Frankie C., who I 4 minutes ago said, can you host tonight? Here's all the topics. He did not have time to read all of these, so cut him a little slack. But he's going to be taking the baton. Yeah, so let's get started, Frankie.
I'm sure he could finish in 4 minutes.
Oh! The rumors are true.
Halftime show with The Weeknd. What do you got?
Oh, that weekend. This Sunday, the halftime show, he says it's going to be huge because he's spending $7 million of his own money on the show.
Excuse me.
Usually,
how huge?
It's going to be huge.
How huge is it going to be?
Best halftime show. We've got the best people, best dancers. Got The Weeknd. It's an extra long weekend.
He's spending $7 million of his own money.
Usually the folks at the Super Bowl would take care of the bill.
Right.
They usually do that. But he said he wants to make it a whole cinematic thing since people are going to be at home. It's going to be more for the people at home than it is for people in a stadium. So he wants to make it his own thing, and it's going to be a cinematic experience.
I mean,
cinematic orgasmic experience.
I'd love some cinnamon toast crunch if we have any of that.
All right, great. The rails. We're off the rails, folks.
Checking on it.
Rein it in.
It makes sense though because the stadium is only going to be a third full. So
Where is it this year?
Tampa.
Oh,
this is the first time in Super Bowl history that a team is playing in their home stadium because the Bucs.
How can that be allowed?
Wow.
Because they pick the site years in advance. So they know 2-3 years in advance where they're going to go. They don't know who the teams are going to be. So this is the first time.
So why pick the site that far in advance?
Because they have to get everything. Are you kidding me? Do you know what it takes to get a Super Bowl off the ground? It's a whole week's
worth. If it takes more than 5 years to get that off the ground, then you're doing it wrong.
No, but you just need
less than a year.
No, they plan all the way out.
2 years.
They plan all the way out, but they know they need to. People need to know where they're going.
In it till the end. Yeah.
Right.
They should have a designated arena, middle of the country. This is the Super Bowl arena.
Yeah, but they make more money touring it around because all the places they kick in and do all that. Dude, a Super Bowl, for people who don't know, it's a week's worth of activities. There's meetings and there's all sorts of events that happen all week. I mean, not this year, of course, but yeah.
There's picking the hookers out for the players. I mean, there's a lot to go through.
Escorts fly into Super Bowl cities just to make extra bank that week. Do
you blame them? Do you
know that business people go to the they go to the city on Monday. They'll spend the whole week in meetings, and a lot of them wind up flying out on Saturday because they don't have tickets to there's just business to be done, and then they go home and watch the game because there's they don't want to spend the money to go to the game or whatever or there's not enough tickets to go around. There's that part of it too, where they can't get a ticket to the game, so they go home, but they go for the business ventures. But anyway, $7 million is utterly crazy to spend of your own.
He's got it.
He's
making it back on whatever endorsements and all.
See, that's the thing. That's why
he's going to be wearing a Pepsi hat and
he definitely has a commercial.
He's going to look like a NASCAR racing car. That's my opinion.
The jacket.
The NFL a couple of years ago wanted to. Well, they did. They stopped paying performers. I don't know when they were paying performers, but they were paying. They stopped. Then they got to a point where they were like, we should be charging performers to want to play the halftime show.
It's true.
Now
it's a big thing.
Yeah. Now I have no way of proving this, but I'm pretty sure Maroon 5 paid to be on the Super Bowl. That is my gut instinct.
I would imagine so.
That they were one of the first ones to be like, okay, if you really want us to pay, we'll pay. Because like you said, $7, $8, $10 million is worth it with the boost of not only album sales that you get, but usually they want to put a tour on sale. and they're going to make that back way more coming off of something like this. Now, The Weeknd announced a tour. Interestingly enough, the Islanders are building an arena here on Long Island. He will be the first show. You know when the show is?
When?
April 2022. And tickets are going to go on sale.
Are we going to remember the Super Bowl?
Tickets are going to go on sale Sunday. That's what
we'll be coming fresh out of a new Super Bowl by then.
Where are they building this?
At Belmont State Park. The racetrack.
Okay, yeah.
Not by you.
Not at.
I forgot the date.
But Frank is right. We'll go through an entire other Super Bowl before we get to that show, but it doesn't matter because they're going to put tickets on sale on Sunday, and they're most likely going to sell out, and he's going to have all that money in the bank.
Yep, there you go.
Hopefully, he doesn't have to do a ton of refunds, and we'll be able to go to these concerts next year.
Let's hope so.
God, I hope so.
But I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. You know, it's not going to be a huge party.
Two thoughts on this. I have two thoughts on this. One, I would never spend that money. I don't care how much he thinks he's going to get it back. $7 million is utterly crazy.
It's an investment. He's got the money to invest. It's like you buying whatever BS stock you bought in Robinhood. It's an investment.
Not BS.
No, it's BS.
All I know is I'm never stepping foot in an AMC theater ever again. Fuck AMC. And two, I think this is going to be a huge thing for The Weeknd because, first of all, the kids know who The Weeknd is. That's all well and good.
The kids.
For the older kids, for people our age and older who have no idea who he is.
I do.
What I'm saying is we've heard his songs. I think everybody, any age, knows his songs. They just don't know it's him.
You're right.
So I think when they see him and then they hear the song, they'll be like, oh, that's the guy.
Right.
I heard that song. And they're going to wind up buying tickets to his shows and buying his albums.
Yeah, the big
that's the guy.
Super Bowl is a big 3-hour-long advertisement.
But I think it's going to be, I think it's more for him who is popular and unknown to older people because I think he's got a real opportunity to cash in here. I really, really do.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Anybody that plays a Super Bowl, if they don't cash in. I wonder what it's like because, they say after someone wins an Oscar, it's hard, their movies kind of suck afterwards.
Yeah.
Or they're not in a lot. I wonder after a Super Bowl how successful those people, does their success go up? Does it go down?
Well, yeah, it goes up.
J-Lo?
It definitely goes up. But I wonder how they feel about performing afterwards because then you go to like a regular show where there's like,
Yeah, but the Super Bowl halftime show, it's only 20 minutes?
It's like 18 minutes or something like that.
18 minutes.
Yeah.
So a regular concert, they're doing 2 hours.
What was the best? Well, before we move on to Lou Dobbs quickly, what was the best Super Bowl halftime performance?
Best Super Bowl halftime. Oof.
And I will say this as Frank and J Sabs are thinking about it. I'm surprised they haven't tapped Metallica yet. I will relent to this and say I feel like Metallica is worthy.
They really should.
I mean, Britney's done it twice already, and Metallica.
There were rumors that they were going to do it a couple of years ago, and there were like negotiations, and it didn't work out somehow. But they did almost like not an anti-Super Bowl, but an opposite of the Super Bowl show that Saturday night.
I remember one year it was in San Francisco. I think that was they should do it when it goes back to San Francisco because that's their town.
That's their turf.
Also, they are doing a special performance at some point this weekend with Colbert. Might actually be.
They are
Friday
on Sunday night. After the Super Bowl.
Oh, Sunday night. Okay.
Damn, he knows every. Damn.
You can't stop me with Metallica.
No,
I know what I'm talking about. I'm hip to the latest news.
Favorite Super Bowl performance.
I'm gonna go with Britney.
You're gonna go with Britney?
Yeah,
there's an obvious
the first
answer.
one.
That was a good. You know what? Did she do it twice actually, or was that Timberlake I'm thinking of? Because she did it with Timberlake, wasn't it? Timberlake, Britney, and Aerosmith that year. Wasn't that the year?
That sounds right. I like the whole Katy Perry left shark thing. That started a whole big annoying.
You like Janet Jackson?
Nipgate.
That was the
Nipplegate.
turning point. That was a turning point in history. That just took everybody's. I'm serious. That took everybody's, PC brain and just flipped it, and it was like everybody lost their minds after that. And
didn't she get
censored.
fined? Did she get fined for that?
I think CBS did. CBS got fined
But
because
the
they.
thing is, they didn't show no nipple, right?
No, it was nip. It was all the way out there. They saw everything. Saw the
Because
whole
I thought she
hootie.
had it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it had like some kind of sparkly things on it or something. It
Yeah.
wasn't full, it had like a
Frank was like, I
thing on it.
studied it for
Oh,
years.
I paused that tape many times.
Give me Prince any day with Bruce being a close second. That was my absolute favorite.
Can't get
Prince
that
is
one
good.
anymore.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well, he was good.
Just before we got on the podcast air here, Lou Dobbs out over at Fox Business. I'm pretty surprised by this because he was like the guy. He was like the main squeeze over there.
He's also an old crank.
Well, yeah, as most people are on these cable news networks. There's nobody
Aren't they
that's
all?
happy.
Aren't we all?
But according to this article, they're going to continue his show just without him. It's not going to be Lou Dobbs tonight. It's going to be Fox Business tonight.
So they're not continuing his show.
It's going to be the same type of show. They're just going to have a rotating hosts, just not going to be Lou Dobbs. And this comes after the news that one of the voting systems, one of the voting, it's not the one that we talked about already. It's Smartmatic, which is the, sue me if you want, dumbest name for a voting system. Smartmatic. That sounds like.
We didn't go with Dumbmatic. We said smart, so it's smart.
Let's go with the simplest name.
Who's the guy who smashes the watermelons? The comic who smashes the watermelons?
Oh yeah,
Gallagher.
This is like something Gallagher came up with. Like, what should we call our voting system? Smartmatic.
Smartmatic. It's like let's think of a name, something like Smartmatic, but not that stupid. And then after 5 hours, they went, you know what? I think we had it 5 hours ago. What we've been thinking about.
Anyway, Smartmatic is suing Lou Dobbs and Fox Business News for $2.7 billion.
Come on.
Lou
That's
Dobbs,
what you get.
Maria Bartiromo, and I believe one other person, basically because this goes back to the Dominion thing. And that was the other company. All the Jeanine Pirro. So Jeanine Pirro, Maria Bartiromo, and Lou Dobbs getting their faces sued off because of all of the voter fraud stories that they were passing along.
Yeah, well, you badmouth the company on a news show, on such a public platform like that. They have the right to say, no, you're lying. We didn't do anything to our machines, and you have zero proof of that. You're making wild accusations based on nothing, so we're suing you for defamation.
I mean, I guess, but if this happens across the board, it's not just them. It's every news station putting out lies about people, about
It's not
things.
every news station lying about a company that doing something that it wasn't doing. They based it on nothing. They said the company was doing this. They said, I'm paraphrasing and I'm not quoting here, but they're saying, no, they took out the equipment and they changed things out because, they wanted the votes to go a certain way. So they changed out the equipment. That's spreading lies about the company. So if anybody goes on the news and tells you, hey, McDonald's, that instead of using hamburger meat, they're using Play-Doh, that's ridiculous. You can't do that, McDonald's. McDonald's has the right to go, no, stop telling people that because we're not doing that.
I guess the same could be said about Trump with Russia too then.
What do you mean?
Like,
he could sue for saying...
I get what Jeanine is saying. The other networks report things from sources and everything, and you got a point, Jeanine. You do have a point.
It's just, so he's being canceled because of the whole voter fraud thing, right?
It's not. See, that's the thing. I don't think it's only because of that, and from what I'm reading here, it's definitely not. Because they're going to pay him throughout the rest of his contract. There's more to this story. I just don't think we know it yet. Because everything that's being said is like, there also is this lawsuit, so it could be this, but it feels like this is pretty sudden, and then there is going to be more to this story. What that is, I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
but I think
who comes out.
I do think it's interesting that all these voting companies, if they can prove, that these are baseless claims, they might have a point. On the other hand, it's very hard to get one of these networks because, as we've talked about before, they go, "Oh, we're just entertainment. We're just television. Ignore us crazy TV people," and they slink out that way too, which is unfortunate because this, causes a lot of damage. I will say this: there are a lot of people that partake in this show or have partaken in this show in the last week or so that are convinced that all of this stuff is complete voter fraud, and that we, by the way,
too. I wasn't on that episode, so
one of our episodes, I forget which one it was
that.
now, but it caught fire on Facebook. Right? Yeah, it went very viral on Facebook, and a lot of people were taking us to task, which I'm okay with. But again,
no proof.
I have yet to see anybody put a piece of proof in front of me.
And there were people, and I read a lot of the things, and one of them was, I got sent 3 ballots, and I could have voted 3 times if I wanted to under 3 different names. There are things in place to stop you from doing that. Number 1, you didn't do it. That's one thing. Your conscience stopped you. Number 2, not only your conscience, but the consequences for doing that is up to 5 years in prison and $10,000 fine. Number 3 is you have to prove, when you do a mail-in ballot, you have to prove who you are by signature. And if the signature is off even a little bit, then it's canceled out.
Frank, that's all well and good. My point is that we've got I've read a lot of the comments. We got to a point where, like, I've believed in things. I've been like, oh, without a doubt this happened, or, even the Robin Hood thing up until recently. They're all like, oh, we're doing this for your, like, I don't believe any of that crap. Like, they were protecting their own rear ends.
Exactly.
I don't have any proof of it right now, but it all sort of points to that. So I understand what it's like to be on that side.
But nothing points to that. The only thing that points to that is that he lost. And they go, well, I can't believe he lost, so it must be a fraud.
And a lot of the evidence...
Who is they?
People who can't believe that
I know.
Trump lost.
A lot of the evidence that people are referring to are signed affidavits from other people saying things.
Yeah. And most of
saw
those
things.
Are on a very tiny scale, like they saw one thing out of order.
Right.
And a lot of it has been debunked.
A lot of it. And that's the thing. That's my point. Like, I put the time in. I read all the reports.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I did. The one with
According to them.
It was Michigan, and it was really Minnesota, and they screwed the whole...
Do your research.
Yeah, I love the amount of comments that are like, do your research. Like, guy, like, come on. I've done it.
Dude.
I've done it.
If you believe he got 80 million votes, then you're not paying attention.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of people go to me, how did he get that many votes and still lose? Look, it happened.
The other guy got more.
But
that's bottom line.
But that just goes to show, like, I think that's evidence, not that the election was stolen. That's evidence that the man was still incredibly popular.
Absolutely.
Given everything that took place over the last year. But I think, totally. but I also, what I find interesting is, the reason why I bring this up, I talked about, the only thing I've said bad about Trump, really, which a lot of the left people can take me to task for, is Capitol Day on. And the way that was, Election Day on, it really took a turn on the Capitol Day. I really take issue with how he handled it when he told people, we love you, we won, but go home, and nobody, that wasn't the right thing to do. I feel still to this day. If you don't want to blame him for people showing up on that day, I'll concede that point. Fine. I know Frank could get upset, but I'll concede that point and say, okay, fine. But he didn't handle calming everybody down the right way.
Right.
And that's been my own, and I said then it'll be interesting to see what happens to him in 4 years, can he recover from this? It's been 2 weeks, and I feel like his people are already right back on board. They've already forgotten the whole Capitol thing, and they're like, oh, the election was stolen. This is all, So
I think a lot fewer people are saying that nowadays. There's a bunch of people that are like, yeah, stolen. I mean, in like Congress and like his supporters, like the political people, not like citizens.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm talking about political people. A lot of them have said enough's enough. Let's move on.
A lot of people have moved on, but I thought
Lindsey
that
Graham, for one.
I thought more people. I'm surprised at the amount of comments of people that are like, "Oh, the election is stolen." Still,
because he says it's stolen, doesn't mean it was stolen. It means he can't believe he lost, so it must have been stolen. That's what it means.
Watch the comments now, Frankie. Below.
Bring it.
this to
Like
me,
I said, I'm here for the comments.
what I'm saying right now has less to do with Trump and more to do with the supporters. I'm surprised that there's still that fiery passion there.
I don't know why either. I get you support your candidate. I get that, but he's just a man that has nothing to do with. He's the president.
Well, I understand the frustration with the system, and I understand the disgust with I
don't get this diehard devotion to one man that will be gone after his term is up. That's gone. Move on. Why does he hold such a place in your heart?
You don't think that's happened with other presidents, Frank, or you just
any president? Why would you be so devoted to one man like that you've never met, you don't know anything about? But like, that someone that would just riot over it. How could you be that devoted? Or if someone says something negative,
because people are disenfranchised,
flip out.
People. It's my belief that he is just. It's a happenstance. He's the guy. Yeah. He came in him and his attitude and his stance on things just came in contact with people's being disenfranchised at the right time.
Which is fine. But to be so devoted to it that you lose your
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Let me
ask you a question. Do you think
I don't care.
Do you think that
suck off any member of Metallica?
Do you think that do you think that if somebody else caught fire, they would take that mantle from him?
I don't know. I don't know what it is about this guy.
I do. Know. I think that if somebody else caught fire, somebody else started catching, got heat in the media and started riding a wave of popularity, they'd forget all about Trump. It'd be the same I think people are just upset with the way things are.
You know what? That's a good question, but I feel like those people are extreme people.
Oh, yeah, like extreme on both sides, of course.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, because a member in our group who was a fan of him is not an extreme member. Like, you could like him.
Yeah, like him.
But there's people who are to the extreme. Like those people who went to the Capitol, those are extreme people.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I do feel like past presidents, there was.
But everybody loves their president. Sure, you can love your president.
I mean, like, for me personally, I would. That's not my thing.
It's the leader of the. It's like he's not.
It's like a religion leader too.
Yeah,
it's cult-like.
People say
yes.
I if someone says something negative about someone I admire, I look up to. If it's not a family member, I don't care, or a friend. I don't. If someone says something about someone I happen to like, a musician, a public leader.
Yeah.
Metallica.
That's I'm gonna be like, okay.
Metallica stinks. But I also think, Frank, that
I don't care what you say.
Enter the Sandman was a horrible song. Go ahead.
I think this is also a circumstance of time, because now more than ever, we are in a place where we are king and queen, right? So we used to, when you watched TV, you were subject to whatever the television executives put in front of you. Okay. Now you go and watch whatever the hell you want to watch. You're in control. It's no longer, I missed that show, I didn't catch that episode. Now it's, what do I want to watch, right? Same thing with reading. If if it came out in the newspaper, you had to read this newspaper. This was your town newspaper. This was your way of getting information. Now you can scour the internet and you can decide what it is that you want. When you wanted to listen to music, you had to turn into a radio station, and it was what they were playing, and that's what you consumed. Now you go on to Spotify and you get to choose.
Any song you want.
Of course.
Any Britney Spears song you want.
We're in this incredibly selfish time now, and I think
which is
social media over the last couple of years and the internet and everything else has put us in this mode of it's what I want, what's important to me. It's about me. Everything has been turned on us, and I think that's being reflected in our our attitudes.
Seek out what you like to watch and what you like to read and everything like that. But you also have to know that take what you're reading and research it. If you think it's a big deal.
But I think people don't feel that way. I think people feel this is how I feel and this is how the world's got to be, Anyway, Janine loves Britney Spears. Let's move on to the Britney story.
So actually, premiering tonight on FX and Hulu on FX.
I like to call it fucks. I go, can we put fucks on tonight, babe? I want to watch some fucks.
Is the Britney documentary. It's called Framing Britney Spears.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, happening tonight. See you, Janine.
God. Okay.
Bye.
Sorry, Guy Town and his coupon. I'm definitely going to watch this. Sorry.
So it's all about the freeing Britney Spears, the whole controversy around the conservatorship about she doesn't have control over her money, but she claims it was a voluntary thing that so after she had that very public breakdown, I believe it was 2007, 2008, give or take, right?
Where she shaved her head?
Right.
Oh, that was actually probably 2000 and oh god. 7, oh no, 8. Actually you're right. I think it was around 2006, 2007.
So after that, she signed over conservatorship to her family members. I think her sister for a while took over conservatorship.
Right.
And there was a lot of court stuff and people protesting and things like that. So they did a documentary called Framing Britney Spears, and it's aired tonight. Probably by the time you're watching this, it's already
probably passed. On. Yeah, we'll have to watch that.
It's on to watch.
Is it going to be on? You could stream it. All right, so we should stream and review. What do you think, Janine? Next episode?
1,000%.
Okay, we'll do that. By the way, Trump and Britney, same thing. More popular now than ever. I feel like Britney is more popular now.
Is she? But at the height of her song career?
I think she's more. I think people have more interest in her now with this conservatorship business than they did when she was dropping records.
And her weird TikTok videos.
Yeah.
She had a big stint in Vegas. She was there for a while. She did 248 shows in Vegas.
Crazy amount of shows.
She was running that whole thing. She made millions.
I saw her here before she went over there.
And for some reason, she's not in charge of her own money.
Yeah, exactly.
So they want to get to the bottom of why.
Listen, I don't know if musicians should be in charge of their own money. That weekend is blowing $7 million on a better looking stage. So,
That's true. When the Super Bowl, historically has put the bill for that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's what. Yeah, we should point that out. They're not because of COVID. They're not paying for a lot of stuff this year. Ticket sales and a lot of things are down. They're saying advertising is down, which I'm surprised because I feel like more people than ever are going to watch this show.
Right.
I'm sure in field, in stadium, and on premises advertising down, but TV commercials have got to be through the roof.
You would
think, right?
Everybody's going to be home. I mean, maybe there aren't as many parties, but I'm sure just as many, if not more, people are going to be watching.
I'm going to be watching and eating more wings than ever. That's for damn sure.
I'm going to be watching.
Where are you going to get your wings from?
Probably Hurricanes. I hate to admit that, but
I'm thinking about making my own.
Yeah?
Yeah, just growing.
You know what? It's just not the same.
Yeah, I know. But I've been into cooking lately. I've been into, trying new things. And we order from Omaha Steaks now, and I've been trying, my hand at
cooking. Excuse us. I didn't realize,
Right?
Shit.
So
He's sitting next to the next Bourdain over here.
Yeah, no,
Hopefully
no kidding.
I'll take
Bourdain,
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay over here.
Bourdain Bezos over here. Like, yeah, give me some Omaha steaks. That ain't no thing. No big deal.
Right?
Order it up.
No, they're not that expensive. They have good deals, and they do like coupons and things like that. So
Whatever, fancy pants.
And I just stocked the fridge, and then I got
Excuse
it from,
me.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Listen, if you want to live the high-end life like Frankie C here, then get yourself a Superior soap. Hero Soap Company, proud sponsor of this episode. Link in the description below. They are the, you know what? They're better than Omaha Steaks. They're Old Homestead.
Go ahead, say it. Just say it.
They're Old Homestead.
No animals were hurt in the production of these things, I don't think.
Excellent point.
Maybe.
You buy a bar of this soap, they send a bar over to the troops. By the way, somebody was like, the troops don't get soap issued to them? No, they don't. They have to buy their own stuff like everybody else. Anyway, unless you buy a bar and then they'll send a bar over, so you can alleviate that problem. You can also get a subscription. Sign up right now. Link in the description below. 20% off when you use the promo code Anthony. You get soap for the entire year. You say, give me 3 bars a month or give me 2 bars a month, whatever. And they'll just keep sending you soap all month long, which is just a great thing to do with that subscription, which makes, by the way, a lovely Valentine's Day gift for the significant other in your life. There you go. Roses will be dead in 2 days. She will blame you for all the weight she's gained after eating all the chocolates. If you want to save yourself,
smell like roses for months ahead.
There you go. Get that nice lavender going, or spearmint, which is one of my favorites. And you're all set with that Hero Soap Company. J Sabs, you got to go, or are you hanging around for a little bit longer?
What time is it?
I don't know. It's half hour. We've been doing this for a half hour.
You know what?
Where you go?
10
It's
more
Friday
minutes.
night.
10 more minutes? All right, I love it. J Sab's going to stick around for the Ghislaine Maxwell portion of the program.
For the cheery stuff.
Actually, then I'm out. How about you?
You don't want to stick around for fun stuff like Ghislaine?
Go ahead, Frankie. See what's going on with Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
These are quick. I think these are quick updates tonight.
Yeah, they're not,
they're quick.
not too. Well, a couple of things. She wants to get charges dismissed.
Yeah.
Because she claims that because everything's been going on so long and whatever, that any witnesses and any victims that are going to be brought up against her are being groomed by not only attorneys and things, but the media and the press around the story. So any victims that were going to be brought up against her, they're already being fed everything they need,
Do you think the OJ lawyers, those that are still around, because aren't like half of them dead?
A couple of them, yeah.
Do you think they're laughing at this, being like, "Are you people crazy?" Like, did you?
And one of them's involved in this.
Is really?
Isn't Dershowitz? Wasn't he?
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was on the OJ thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cochran's dead.
Kardashian's dead.
Is dead. And yeah.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right.
know if I forget if there were other ones.
But I feel like with all the evidence stacked up against Ghislaine, there was even more against OJ, and he still found a way to walk away from this. So you can't use that excuse.
There was no internet, so they weren't,
That's
people.
true.
So the influence, she's claiming that there's too much influence on the victims at this point, to be groomed against her. So she's pushing for a mistrial there.
Fat chance.
And also because it's taken so long.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I lost Frankie C and J Sabs. Dear Lord. Oh, I don't know what happened. Look at that. They're gone. All right, we'll try and let me see if we can work to get them back. We were right in the Frankie C was about to deliver some amazing soliloquy just now. I feel he was really going to go over the top and make it happen. I'll continue on. The Epstein part of this story is they set up that victims fund. We talked about that. They set up this victims fund for Epstein and the victims that they were going to get this money. They are counting on the sale of his properties to help subsidize this money that they were going to be paying out to the victims. They can't move his properties, so they have paused. They have put a pause on the money that they're able to dole out to these victims because nobody will buy the property. And we talked about this for a long time. There's a lot of property, by the way. I know his Florida house was up for sale. I know his New York brownstone mansion was up for sale for big money. That was probably going to fetch the most. But, judging by the stories that have come out since all of the, everything that's happened, he hasn't been able to recoup the money. Frankie C and Jay Sab's back. I just did the Epstein part of the story that the victims
covered the whole thing.
paid. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
You covered the deal
I did it all.
from Maxwell. Okay.
Turns out I don't need you guys, believe it or not.
That's it. What? I'll see
All
you.
right. We'll see you. Bye.
Highlight of the episode, if you ask me. I think everybody is going to be like, that was
covered
really
it.
great.
You got to add another little notch in that arrow thing where we disappear.
Right.
So people can find it when they want to.
I was concerned that the Trump people got you guys. That's what I was
They
concerned
did, right?
with.
That could have been.
Amazon, what are they making their employees do, Frankie C?
Oh, it's a
What
terrible,
aren't they
terrible
making
thing.
their employees do? What are they
So
doing?
they gave them a choice.
Mhm.
Either lose your job or do a 10-hour graveyard shift from 1:20 a.m. to 11:50 a.m. called a mega cycle shift. That's what the nickname of this thing is. 4 days a week. You have to do 10 hours, 1:20 a.m. to 11:50 a.m.
That's horrible.
You know what's most
A long
upsetting about
morning.
this to me is that some asshole in corporate came up with mega cycle. I'd love to slap the shit out of that person.
It's a
you know
mega
how
cycle.
People on top want you to do something that sucks so bad
That's what she
that they
said.
try to make it sound so great.
Yeah, it's a mega cycle. It's gonna be great. You're
And
right.
you know what? This is not just in Amazon. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, but these shifts.
I hate the meeting where it's like, guys, we got a meeting coming up on Wednesday. It's very exciting. We're going to tell you all about. We're going to give you all the details on what we're going to be doing. And then just like Janine said, you roll in there and they go, want to introduce you guys to Megacycle. This is we're all very thrilled about what's going to be taking place. And they're just trying to sell it to you and you're just like, this is going to I don't even know what this is yet,
Yeah.
but I know it's going to suck. Yeah.
That used to happen to me, like where I used to work. My boss would say, okay, how are we going to sell this to them? And I'm like, sell it to them. They're your employees. They have to do what you say.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, he's like,
How
no,
there
no.
isn't an Amazon union by now? There are enough workers.
Exactly.
They were
It's not
talking
like
about
it's
it.
10 people.
They're talking about it. I know there's a couple of the places that are talking about starting something up.
There
But-
should be.
And you know
There
who
should be a
they
union
should
for
ask
almost
for
everything.
advice? Trump.
Yeah. If you want people, to pay you your money,
Oh,
I wouldn't go to Trump.
that was a joke because of the union thing.
So
Okay.
yes, so they've been gradually rolling this out. They started in Chicago, and they've been doing it. Why? To cut labor costs.
Is that why they're doing it?
Yep. According to, let's see, Vice.com, New York
It's
Post, I
just
think. No,
it's
Vice.com
awful. It's just awful.
is
This
where I read it.
this Bezos got billions in the. I mean, it's
unbelievable.
disgusting.
Mega cycle.
You know what's unfortunate though, and I'm happy to point out my own hypocrisy. As much as this guy disgusts me, and I would love to boycott him and what he's doing to these employees, I'm so hooked on that Amazon Prime tit. I'll never get off it. This is like cocaine. I'll never. He's
Like,
got me.
Oh God, am I gonna get this in 2 days? Well, now it's not really the next day.
No, but it's
You know?
it's free shipping, music,
I know.
movies. I am
I know.
in. If it comes out that Amazon is harming my mother, I would still be like, yeah, but I get to watch the movies.
If you had to do the mega cycle just to keep Prime, you would do it.
I might.
Isn't a mega cycle
Mega
something
cycle.
women? No, never mind.
That you're gonna have to apologize for that.
I apologize.
You know what, Frank?
That was a stupid joke. Stupid joke. What? It's a mega cycle. From what I understand, it's not fun.
No, it's not.
No, but I'm serious though. Like out of everything that needs to be boycotted, Amazon needs to be boycotted the most, and I feel like it has the least possible chance of actually, like, everybody. There's not a person that's not going to be upset by this story, and not one of those people is going to go cancel their Amazon subscription.
You know what? I'm gonna no.
The stuff that they've been protesting about too. They created a petition for higher pay, air conditioning. It was one of the things that they wanted, and eventually management agreed to shut. In one case, management agreed to shut down a warehouse because it was 90 degrees in there. So they said, "Okay."
Yeah, see, that's where I draw my line.
And
you
know
like
what?
The conditions, man.
You know what sucks hard about this too? They run those fucking ads about how great it is to work at Amazon.
Yeah, they really do.
We've all seen them. Yeah, pieces of shit.
It's unbelievable. Right? This is what I mean. 100 years ago, they formed unions for this very reason, to stop bullshit like this.
Yeah.
And what is going on? It's a huge, and it's not a mom and pop store where there's two people that are working an 11-hour shift. No. This is thousands of people.
The saddest thing is, look, I know there are companies that can't afford it. You know, they're just trying to keep doors open and they're just making it happen. The thing with this is, though, we know that that's not the case. Yeah.
It's greed, man. It's just the higher ups are like, how else can we squeeze another dime out of these people?
Yeah, it sucks. We got to do a better job with our Amazon deal. That's for sure.
What do we do, though?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think the three of us are going to figure it out.
No.
I think a union is a step in the right direction.
Hey, I gave a suggestion.
What was your suggestion?
For them to call Donald Trump.
All right. Hey, maybe he could help. I don't know.
I'm not canceling my Prime. I love it. It's fantastic.
Excuse me.
I put the thing on. I watch the shows.
Shipping.
Yeah, for shipping. I like to get The Apprentice.
Change of address.
I'd like to get The Apprentice on that Amazon Prime so I could watch me all the time. Fantastic.
I have to go because I hear my.
Go ahead.
Whatever that thing is screaming.
All right, there, Jay Sabs.
Your child.
I mean, my husband. No,
you have a great
talk about my husband.
You have a good one. There's Jay Sabs, everybody. Let's hear it for her.
Yeah,
there she goes.
Copping for myself.
That's all right. You're allowed.
All right, there goes Jay Sabs. All right, Frankie C.
Yes, sir.
Coming to America, the sequel. Trailer dropped this week. Did you see the trailer?
I did, and it looks good. You know, there's a little, you know, it looks like the original. They're just rehashing some old. Every now and then, some old jokes come up from the original. It's like, you know, but the big difference is if you watch the trailer, spoiler alert, but it's the trailer, so it's out there. But if you don't want to watch the trailer, you want to go in fresh, spoiler alert. You know, they start, he goes to Queens, he goes back to New York because he finds out he might have a son.
Right.
Okay. Not with his wife, with someone he slept with while he was in America.
Which was the most unbelievable part to me because he was obsessed with the girl in the first one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He was enthralled with her, but I guess they
I don't know how they're going to explain it.
Yeah, probably had a drunk night or whatever that you didn't see, and something happened. Who knows?
Yeah. So he finds this son, and he brings him back to Zamunda, his home country, and he's trying to groom him to be the next ruler.
By the way, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I loved it. I love the trailer. I'm even more excited about it now than I was before.
It looks good, and you got Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. A lot of the original cast.
You sounded like you were kind of down, like you didn't like it. You were a little.
No. It started off a little. I was like, they go to the barber shop. It's like, okay, there's all the same guys, and they did a corny joke in the trailer, but I like those guys, and it's all them, of course. But it's like, I want to see them do a good joke, but I'm sure it'll be different in the theaters or on TV because it'll be, not a clean version,
Right.
They'll be able to show you everything, but a lot of the stuff, there was a joke in there that they kind of spoiled. Like if you watched it fresh, I feel, if you watched the movie fresh, this joke probably would have hit and it would have been funny. But watching the trailer, they ruined a joke, I feel. the joke where they're gonna circumcise him. Did you watch the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
So they tell the son that there's a ritual circumcision that they have to perform on him,
Right.
and he's scared to death. And they get right to it, and then they pull the rug out from under him. It's just a joke. But the kid ends up fainting, you know. But if we didn't know that it was a joke, we could have been taken along for the ride. But I feel like they spoiled it.
I
don't think trailers should be 2 minutes long. It's like they give up too much of the movie. I feel that way with most movies.
Well, yeah, and this was a super extended. This is like a 2-minute trailer, so it was pretty long. I don't know who the kid is who plays the son. He's been in a couple things. I love that guy. I think he's hysterical.
I don't know him. I haven't seen him in anything that I could remember, but he seemed good in the trailer.
He was in something else I saw. He's very, like, his face is very animated. He makes me laugh. I don't just his like face makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's a good combo with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio. I think he'll be good.
I love seeing the barbershop guys.
Yeah.
What I am most excited about is Sexual Chocolate makes a comeback. I love that character.
That's a great one.
That is, I feel like one of the best, like, minute and a half's worth of film. Like, when you look at the amount of screen time that Sexual Chocolate gets, and the fact that he's on T-shirts and in memes and things, like, it's Beatles-esque, his impact with the small amount of material.
Arsenio does not get enough credit, and he doesn't get enough work. I feel like he should be in more things.
Yeah, he should. He should. But Sexual Chocolate was outstanding. No, well, he's not Sexual Chocolate. Murphy was.
Was it?
Yeah, Murphy was. He was the preacher. You're thinking of the preacher.
Oh, that's right.
Arsenio was the preacher, who's back in it too, and he's great. Yeah, I love that. I feel like the two greatest things that Eddie Murphy ever did was Sexual Chocolate, and the other hysterical thing it was in what's the one where he plays the fat guy?
The Clumps? Nutty Professor?
Nutty Professor. Okay, I can't repeat the line, but there's somebody playing piano, and he's either going on stage or going off stage, and there's a black guy playing piano, and he uses the N-word. I'm not going to use the N-word, but he calls him Liberace, but instead of Liberace, he uses the N-word and then Arachi. When he said that for the first time, I laughed so hard.
Eddie Murphy, man. He comes out with some classic stuff. Because
Frank, you know I'm a sucker for wordplay. Any wordplay joke, it just tickles my funny bone.
True.
And the attitude, the way he brushes the guy off as he's moving so fastly, and he says, "Get out of my way," my God, it caught me so funny, and I still think about that scene and laughed.
He has great timing. Eddie Murphy,
the best.
From his stand-up days. Beverly Hills Cop, I think, is up there with one of his best.
Oh, it's outstanding. But those two moments, when those two moments come on screen, I have to stop everything and watch. And it's like, it's coming, and it still makes you laugh. But Sexual Chocolate is on top for me. That's the best one. Also, Wesley Snipes in this.
Yes. Glad to see him back.
They added Leslie Jones, which I'm down with. But more than anything, I'm super excited that Tracy Morgan made his way into this film, too. That is outstanding. I love Tracy
Morgan. Now, Leslie Jones, I'm not sure of her age, but when the original Coming to America came out, I be curious, because she plays the mother of the son. She plays the woman that he
sleeps with.
He sleeps with.
Yeah.
He slept with, apparently, in the original time he came to America. And I just want to know how old she actually would have been when the original Coming to America came out.
That's funny. Yeah.
Because she's young.
Yeah.
She's not Eddie Murphy's age. What was her name? I just blanked on her name. Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. Yeah, no, actually, she's kind of up there. I think she's in her 50s, if I'm not mistaken. And Eddie's in his 60s, or she's in her late 40s?
She's 53.
53. There you go. Yeah.
Coming to America was 1988.
Wow. By the way, it's also great that the girl comes back that he's infatuated with. I forget her name. But
the one he's married to, the original bride.
But James Earl Jones is back. It looks like he's not in it for a long time either, too. In the scene that he's in, he's like in bed. So that makes you
Yeah, it
feel
seems like the story is that he's on his way out
yeah.
and he's trying to pass on some knowledge to his son.
John Amos, who I love, and is
Yeah,
great.
he was great in the original. He was so good.
Yeah, so good in the original. And Louis Anderson makes his way back into this one, too. Which
Gotta
is
love
awesome.
Louis Anderson.
Yeah, which I wonder how they're going to tie Louis Anderson in because he was working at the McDowell's in the first one. Yeah,
he's probably the manager now. It's been what 30 years or so.
That'd be great.
Years. He's probably earned his way up to manager.
Because that was his.
I wonder if Samuel L. Jackson will be in it.
Oh, that's a good one.
He was a cameo in the first one.
I forgot.
He was the guy who robbed them.
That was one of those first instances for me where you saw it, you didn't really know Sam Jackson, and then after Pulp Fiction and all his other huge things, you go back and see it again, and you're like, oh my God, there was one of those moments. That was one of the first moments that happened to me. Was that movie right there?
I love Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm trying to see. He's not on the IMDb, so maybe he didn't make it.
It might be an uncredited thing or just a quick cameo. I don't.
It could
if
be.
he's in it, I think it'll be a shock, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also, he's in everything, so there's a chance he's in it again.
That's the thing. It would be weird if he didn't make it into this and he's in everything. Yeah. It's kind of.
I'm surprised he's not on this right now.
I know. We have a Christmas light issue. This is something that is actually local to New York, so I don't know if a lot of people around the country or the world heard this. Shout out to my European, UK, and Australian people. Our numbers continue to grow on the other side of the ponds, respectively, which is
love you guys.
Amazing. I'm so happy that the podcast is reaching this many people, but also frightened that we are America's representation to some of these people. That's scary.
Don't look at us like that.
Yeah,
we're not. We're 2 idiots, 3 idiots.
Donald Trump and this show should not be representing. I feel like the same way Democrats were like, he doesn't represent us, is the same way most Americans would be like, that show is not actually.
No, definitely not. So this Christmas light thing. So right now we're into February.
Yeah.
And apparently on Long Island, there was this house that Christmas lights were still up. So a neighbor sent a letter put a letter on this person's door. And it said something along the lines of, let's see. Let me see if I can get with exclamation points all over the place. Take your Christmas lights down. It's Valentine's Day. Big letter, exclamation points, almost like they're yelling. So you might think, all right, that's a terrible, why, it's none of your business, whatever. But the comeback is something where you just, if you were the person sending the letter, you feel like a giant jerk.
Why? What was the comeback?
Well, apparently, and it's not a great comeback. It's a comeback that would make you feel like a piece of crap. So apparently the person it happened in Bethpage, Long Island, they had the decorations up, got the letter, and said, we didn't have time really to take down anything or focus on that because we were too busy with funeral arrangements for my father and my aunt who recently died of COVID.
Oh. Ouch.
Yeah, so that makes the letter writer deservedly feel like a schmuck.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's like time to draft a new letter. I'm an idiot. Take your time. Or maybe I'll take them down for you. That's the only way you're getting out of this one, saving any face. I'll take your lights down. You got enough to worry about.
By the way, how shitty of a neighbor are you, too, that you don't know that somebody... Oh, I guess, maybe the dad or the aunt didn't live there. Maybe that's... I was going to say.
Yeah, that's possible.
But even still, I feel like COVID, like everybody's talking about it. Like if my neighbor lost a parent, I'd probably find out about it some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but you're probably close with, this person who writes letters and does that kind of thing probably isn't the closest with their neighbors. Probably is one of those people on the block that doesn't really get along, sits at their front window looking to make trouble.
I cannot stand people like that. Cannot stand it. Don't.
I mean,
busybodies.
If you want to tell them a letter, that's just like.
I got a few of those on my block. I'll be honest with you, that are like
You've gotten letters from neighbors?
not letters, but they'll be like this. I see you letting your bushes grow out there, and it's like,
A
dude,
little passive aggressive.
very, very passive aggressive. Or I'll get this thing like, hey, for some reason in my neighborhood, they're very big on putting blacktop on driveways. I forget what they call it, but it's like you put a coat of black
Asphalt?
It's not asphalt, but it's like you paint it on, and it makes
Okay.
it's like, I forget what they call it, but it's some kind of coating that you put on. And around
Seal?
here, what is it?
Like a sealant?
Yes, yeah. Around here, like they like to do it like every year or every 2 years you do it, and I don't think I've done mine in 5 years because I did it the first time, and I was like, this is stupid. I am never doing this ever again. Like you literally can't tell. Like it's going
Why?
a half a shit. I don't know why. But they get they like so. But anyway, but my neighbors will come by and they'll be like, "Oh, the guy who did my driveway like left an extra card. Like, you want it?" And like they're like, just like like here, guys, great deals right now. And I know you're. And I'm like, guy, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. You know what I'm for? They did this caught fire maybe a couple of years ago in California. They did this in some neighborhood. They painted all the streets white. Because it like the temperature, like because the black top and it brought the temperature maybe a little bit down. It wasn't a hot street.
That makes sense.
The tires, everything, and the environment. It helped, with the general. It wasn't like reflecting this hot sun.
Yeah.
Especially in California, so they did this there. I feel like why not do that everywhere? White. I mean, yeah, it's going to get dirty and it's going to look crappy in a few years, but you repaint it. It creates more jobs.
I saw this thing once, Frank. It was called the Smart Street or something like that. And it was this company. I should look up what happened to them. And they made these like octagon shaped panels, right?
Okay.
And they wanted to replace all the streets everywhere with these panels. And they had lights on them. So they were light up, and they had heat elements on them.
Okay.
And they were going to replace the streets. Like, so instead of asphalt, you would put these panels down, and they wouldn't be all touching each other. Like there would be a little space in between.
Okay.
Right? So that when it snowed, for instance, they could turn all the panels on, they would heat up, and the snow would just melt immediately. They were like, you'd never have to plow again. And then, you know how like when they close highways down or they put up cones and things like that, their vision was a highway, and because it's lit up, you could move the lines wherever you need to move them. It would just be like a computer, like you'd be like, all right, we need 5 lanes going in this direction and only 2 lanes come. Like in rush hour, you could switch the lanes around so that you would ease congestion.
That's pretty good.
Most brilliant thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love it. I could see a problem like if a lane goes out.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. We got those issues and things, but
yeah, but if you could solve that, yeah, I'm in.
I thought that was a brilliant idea. I don't know whatever happened to them, but
I think as long as we're driving cars on the street, I think that energy, like the tire hitting the pavement, could be generated into energy. And like you take those panels that you have, and those panels, like a solar panel or like a wind turbine, as the tire goes over it, it presses it a little bit, and it creates electricity, and you could probably light the street lamps or light whatever the hell.
My wife was talking to me about. She goes, we were in a parking lot the other day, and it was one of those Lowe's or something, I don't know. And they had like those spots in the front, and they were like for electric cars and everything. And she goes, "You really think these electric cars are going to take off?" And I go, 100%, 1,000,000,000%, without a doubt in my mind. Nobody's going to be.
I just talked about it tonight with my wife. So the next car we're getting electric.
So she goes, she's like, I get it. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not arguing with it. She's like, but she goes, I don't understand. She's like, where, where's everybody gonna charge it? And I go, gas stations. I'm like, like we're gonna pull up to gas stations, plug it in for 5-10
Your own
minutes. Whatever.
house.
Your own house, gas station. And then I said to her, but I said this to her. I go, by the time, like every other technology, you know, there was a time where you had to plug your phone in to charge it. Now you can lay it on a pad. I go, somebody at some point is going to come up with something, whether it's solar panels on the roof or magnets
You park on your driveway.
You
and that charges your car.
I just said this. That's exactly what I said to her. I was like, somebody. Now, you and I are pretty average Joe Schmoes. I'm sure if we could come to this conclusion amidst normal conversation,
I'm sure someone's working on it.
Somebody is working on it way smarter than us, and it's probably close to getting it, where you could just pull into a spot at the mall, at your driveway, at your job, and boom, your car is going to charge up for the ride home.
I'm in. What do you want to see first? That car charging thing in your driveway, or a fully functioning lightsaber? Because I don't know. It's a toss-up for me, because that'd be really cool.
Can I be honest with you? If so many of the damn nerds weren't so obsessed with lightsaber thoughts and Star Wars, we'd have probably had all of this technology already. But you nerdies are off there wasting your time going, but the red lightsaber and the green lightsaber. And, you know, so.
There's a guy that's very close, by the way. He made like it's a plasma like light that comes out of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hot. It cuts through whatever. Obviously, it's not like it would be in the movies, because for some reason
I just hate you.
A regular lightsaber is like dense for some reason. It like could hit other lightsabers, and that's just not where we're at.
I just absolutely cannot.
Did you just black out? Did I lose you?
I just can't stand how much time you have on your hands to.
What do you mean?
Can look up this shit.
I don't look it up. It comes in my YouTube feed. I have weird inventions and stuff like that. I saw this thing on YouTube. It was so cool. There's these people that they dug their own pool, and you ever see they build like their own underground like house.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see that? It's like a 20 minute video, and they dig in the dirt in the middle of like the forest, and they have this whole underground like huge house with like rooms and stuff.
No,
it's insane.
I've never seen that. That's because the algorithm is responding to something that you watched, and that's why it's giving you. We should one day we should go over what our algorithms are giving to us. You know what I get a lot, which I don't know why, but I do on occasion watch it, but I feel like I get it way more than I actually reason why I watch it. People living out of their buses, like people that are like, I converted this bus.
Too.
Yeah,
same thing.
I'm like, all right, I've watched this. I've checked it out a little bit here and there, but not as much as you're giving it to me.
They clear it out and they renovate it and they make it into like a livable apartment.
I feel like YouTube is foreseeing my future and being like, listen, Schlepp, you're going to wind up...
the way you're going, you're going to need this video. If you're going off of the success of this podcast, maybe look into buying a bus.
You're going to be living in a bus down by the river, guy. So here's a couple of videos to help you on that journey.
That's very thoughtful, YouTube.
It's very, very thoughtful.
I got the same videos, so they must be on something.
It must be this show. If the next video after this one is that, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know.
It's going to be.
Yeah, clearly.
Chances are.
That's the link. Far too many people living in buses, by the way. I mean, way too many.
I mean, is that like that's a legal home? I guess you can make it, right?
I don't even know.
I'll tell you what. Mail there?
The last couple that they showed me the bus in the stupid thing, they went to Seattle and they went and this is the problem with me, Frank. I get into something and I can't get it out of my head, and I have like 9,000 of these things. They went to Seattle and they went and rented one of these Sleepless in Seattle homes on the water, the houseboats. You remember?
Okay. Yeah.
He lived on a boat, or I think he did. I don't know, whatever. They went by the house. That's how I know. But it was like there's all these people that have these boats that are stationary. They never move, and they've converted them into these little tiny homes. It looks kind of like a school bus. And now I'm like, I want to live there for like a year. I want to live in Seattle and do that whole shtick. So
what about that is appealing? Like, what do you want? What do you like about that?
I don't know. Okay, a couple things. It seemed like I love. First of all, I love water. I love to live
Okay.
by the water. It seemed relatively inexpensive compared to like if you lived in an apartment with that view, right? I do have this thing because like I have like you have so much stuff that sometimes you
Yeah.
just want to
The
go.
minimalizing.
Yeah, I do have that feeling a lot. And then they get in this kayak and they kayak over to this other area where there was like a restaurant. And when I tell you, Frank, this woman, there's a husband and wife. This woman pulls out of a they go, we're gonna go eat, and they you don't see what happens, but they go to the takeout place. They grab their bag. She pulls out of the bag this saran wrapped bread that was the size of a basketball, and she opens it. And as she's opening it, you can see the steam coming off of it. And she goes back into the bag and pulls out this cup, and she pours in. Yep, it's clam chowder right into a big, luscious bread bowl. The whole thing is steaming. She's
You
sopping
could
it up.
probably get that without buying a houseboat.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I know, but in my mind, I'm like, I have to go there and do that exact thing. I need to.
You don't have to
See
spend
that.
a year in Seattle. You don't got to live in a houseboat. You could probably just get the bread bowl and a clam chowder.
I was just like, oh, and they're getting a hockey team, so that'll be great. I'm like, man, fuck it. Maybe I'll move to Seattle for a little while and see how
It
that all
rains
shakes
like
out.
every day. For our, if there's any Seattle viewers, please tell us.
Yeah.
If you love it, if you hate it, what do you think about it?
And the coffee and everything, and the rain
I'm
used
not
to.
a big coffee guy.
I love it. The rain used to bother me, but now it rains so much here in New York. I feel like we're pretty much on par with it all.
I
but-
have to imagine you're in the mountains or surrounded by mountains. It's got to be fresh air, and
yes,
you go hiking.
the
Maybe
air
you see
looks cleaner.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. Oh,
Bigfoot's out there, I think, right?
I'm sure he's got a place.
The Northwest.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a place.
You think he's in a bus?
I feel like I would
I think
love
Bigfoot has a bus.
I would love a year to do something completely different. And I don't know if I feel this way because I don't have it, because you got the kids and everything. But I would just love a year to just go somewhere else and live somewhere else just be and do something completely different for a little
You know what
while.
that's called? Retirement.
Yeah.
Kids are out of the house. It's just you and your wife. You're done with your job.
I know, but I don't want to do it then. I want to do it now. Like, I would love to do it now. My dream, you can ask my wife this, my dream right now is to, the day the kids get out of school, hop in one of those real buses, like a tour bus.
The real
just,
Jay Peterman.
Like the real J, no, like a real, like the one that all the like the big buses, like they look like a real big bus,
yeah.
but they're like a motorhome. I would love to just hop in one of those and just drive for an entire summer, come back in September, just every day still work. Like I would still work, still do the podcast, do all the stuff I'm doing, but
Road trip, baby. Summer road trip.
just be in different places at different times. I don't know if it's the COVID year. We haven't been able to travel as much, and I don't know what it is, but I'm just in this like, God, I just need a change of scenery a little bit here.
Yeah. My wife and I have been thinking about that too. Like once this is all over, we want to travel. We want to just go everywhere, and Europe, all over, wherever we want to go. We just want to do it.
Here in the Northeast where we are in New York, it's kind of customary that around this time, January, February, early March, you go skiing, right? Like there's so many mountains in New York. You go to upstate New York, or you go to Pennsylvania, even Connecticut has some, Vermont, right? And a lot of the times it'll be a day trip. Like there's places where you can drive to and you can go ski for the day and you go back
2
home.
3 hours away.
To completely normal behavior in this area. My son, who's 5, saw skiing somewhere. And he's like, I want to go skiing. So we're like kind of looking at places. I want to turn it into as much of a vacation as I was literally like, let's go to the one 2 hours away, but let's go Friday night. Let's stay Friday night and let's stay Saturday. Like I'm just so desperate
take the week, man. Go Monday to Friday. You come home. You got Saturday and Sunday to decompress. Because when you have kids, I can't speak from experience, but I'm sure when you're on vacation with your kids, you're still
it's not really
working.
vacation.
It's still you're still up and you have to do stuff.
It's awful.
So I think you need a couple of days after you get back to decompress.
I wish, but I can't go during the week because they got school. Can't.
Vacation. There's no week off.
See, that's my other pet peeve, like President's Week. But I hate going away on those times because...
Plus, what grade are they in? Are they going to retain any of this stuff anyway?
Well, normally I would pull them out. I'd have no problem with it, but because the way this year is gone, I don't want to do that. But normally I'd pull them out on an off week and just go on and off. I can't go President's Week when everybody else is going. I can't be a part
Are
of
they
that.
going in or are they doing the remote thing?
No, they're going in. My kids are going in.
All right. Because if it was remote, just take the computer with you.
Yeah.
After you're done with your lessons, your school, we hit the slopes.
Yeah. But still, I mean, the point is that's not a week's vacation. That's
true.
not even a 3-day vacation, but I'm trying to turn it into one because I'm like, I got to do something. It's driving me crazy. Driving me crazy.
I haven't been skiing since college, and I would love to. I would love it. I loved it then. I went once in college, and that was it. And I would love to go back again.
Every time I go skiing, something goes wrong. Like
I'm not going with you.
The first time I went to go skiing, literally it was the hottest weekend in January ever, and the snow machines broke. So they were like, "There's just no skiing." And ever since then, it was always something. The lift thing broke, or this broke, or that broke, or it's always been something. Always.
That's good. So you're the good luck charm. Last time I went skiing, I had to literally save my girlfriend at the time when I was in college. I had to save her life.
I slept with her, by the way. Did I ever mention that to you? I don't know if I...
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But she was going down the mountain. I was halfway down. She was at the top. And she was 90 miles an hour, couldn't stop.
Oh, God.
She was just... And you could hear the screams coming. So she's going full speed down this mountain. And I see her coming. I'm like, oh, crap, I got to stop her or else she's just going to keep going. She's going to either slam into people at the bottom or hit a tree or something terrible. So I start going, and I literally tackled her on the way down. And I had to jump on her and tackle her.
Did you really?
Stopped her. Yeah.
And you say, I mean, she was grateful. She wasn't like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah. No. She needed to be stopped.
Oh, that's hysterical.
She was a risk to herself and everyone at the bottom of the hill. So she needed to be stopped, and everybody was just... I was like, okay, here we go.
Do you ever look back at something nice you did for an ex and like, I should have let her just slam into the... Do you have that feeling about it or no?
No.
Okay.
I have no ill feelings toward...
You're almost unfair to ask. You're very nice towards your...
I'm very nice.
Yeah.
I don't wish ill on anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Except you.
I tell you what, you took that I slept with your girlfriend joke like a champ. That's 30 years of friendship right there.
You. Come on. I would take that seriously.
You should have said, I know you couldn't have gotten her. That's what you should have said.
Also true.
That's why it was so obvious it was a joke for Frank. All right, shut up. Let's leave it there. Fun episode. Super Bowl should be great. We'll recap that, of course, on Monday's episode. No, I win because I get to eat whatever I want that day. That's the thing.
Just sit in front of the TV all day. It's a beautiful thing.
Although I will say, one of my clients, because on top of creating this wonderful content, I create content for other people. They scheduled a 9 a.m. meeting day after the Super Bowl. What kind of asshole?
I think I'm with that movement that the Super Bowl should be on Saturday.
I'm with the movement that we should have Monday after the Super Bowl off.
Or that.
That's
if it's not going to be moved to Saturday, at least make Monday a holiday.
That's got to be a holiday. Yeah.
I agree.
It's going to be a lot of...
The thing's over at 10:30. And by the time you're done, you're full of food. You're probably half in the bag. And you're exhausted. And then you got to get up and go to work on a Monday? Get the hell out of here.
And the greasy hot wing farts that are going to be taking place the following morning. Nobody should have
You probably don't want people in your office anyway.
They're going to deal with it this year. That's for damn sure. I'll tell you what. Well, either way, enjoy the Super Bowl. Let's see if now I'm going to be watching. We'll be like, where did this son of a bitch spend these $7 million? I got to see.
Is this $7 million worth of Super Bowl halftime show? I don't know.
It better be something
amazing.
amazing.
I have done it for $500, maybe.
Remember Gaga had all the drones making the symbols? That was awesome.
Show.
That was awesome.
She did a great job. I like her stuff. She's good.
Better be better than that. I'll tell you what. 'Cause that's all
I
anybody.
wonder what the average is, the average cost of a Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, I would like to know that. Maybe I'm sure somebody will have that report on Monday. Yeah. But he should have never told anybody that he spent this money, because everybody's going to be like, a little harder on him now.
Oh, yeah. Now the expectations through the roof.
Too far.
Average cost. I got to look it up.
Go ahead.
Halftime. Talk amongst yourself.
By the way, we did not forget about the giveaway. I'm doing it on. I made the executive decision to move it this way. People have their last chance to get in on Friday's show. So if you want to win the Sync thing that Frank ordered, just say I want to win the Sync thingy, and Monday we will announce the winner.
All right, so this is weird. The J-Lo Shakira thingy cost the NFL approximately $13 million.
But Pepsi pays for this stuff. That's the thing too. They got a sponsorship deal, so it really doesn't cost the NFL anything. But I get the cost to produce the show. 13. I can see that. It's a big ordeal.
Mil.
It's a big ordeal.
Yeah. But known to exceed $10 million. Overall, the cost involved has been known to exceed $10 million. So maybe it's $7 million of his own plus whatever they're putting up for it.
They're paying for it, and he's like, I want this. And they were like, yeah, we can't afford that. And he's like, well, I'll foot the bill for that thing.
So it's not just a total of $7 million. It's whatever they're doing plus his $7 million.
Right, because they were like, we're pulling back because of what's going on. And he was like, I don't think so. I'll put it in.
He better come in via Harrier jet and, parachute.
Yeah.
Giant trampoline. Give me something.
Something.
A couple of holograms.
Britney Spears making out with Leah Remini. Like, I could see paying $7 million for that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And that's fun for the whole family.
All right, enjoy the Super Bowl. We will catch you on the next episode. AnthonyOnAir.com has all our links and information. Don't forget to visit the merch store. Don't forget to visit our Clips channel. We'll see you on the next one.